Ladies and gentlemen, today we are solving the daily LeetCode problem, question 930, binary subarrays with sum. Given a binary array nums and an integer goal, return the number of non-empty subarrays with a sum goal. A subarray is a contiguous part of the array. First off, I want to say your boy is back in New York City. Stop playing. Anyways, so this question is similar to sum, a easy question on LeetCode. I say that it's similar because in this question, you would need to use a hash map to store the sum values and then come back as we iterate through the array to figure out the solution. To go more in depth of this, we would utilize a hash map, like we said, and then we need to calculate the prefix sum at every we need to calculate the prefix sum at every index and store it in the hash map. And as we iterate each index, we need so as we iterate each index, we need to go back to the hash map and look at the prefix sums in order to calculate the answer. So how can we do that? Well, first we need to understand the essence of the problem, and a good way for me to explain this is we could look right here at this example right here. So the goal is 2, and that basically means that there needs to be a subarray with 2 1 elements, which is this one right here. So this array has 2 1 elements, and when we look at this subarray, we can see that this prefix right here, we just need this, right? This is the answer, or this is the goal, because there's 2 1 indexes. So the part I have highlighted is the goal, and the entire thing is the prefix sum that we calculate. So we could set this up in an equation, right? So we have the goal, and we have the current prefix sum, and the goal plus a question value, a question mark variable, is equal to the current prefix sum. So if this is the goal, what is this part? So this would just be p of x, where the prefix sum is 1. So if we look at these two, right, the goal plus this px is basically a prefix sum of 1. So in order to calculate p of x, we need to isolate it. So p of x is equal to current prefix sum minus goal. We bring goal over. And then when we figure out what p of x is, we could take p of x to the hash map and see how many times this occurred as we iterate through the uh the the, the elements of nums. I hope that makes sense. That's why a good way to really understand this is to solve two-sum on LeetCode, and the solutions between two-sum solution and this solution is very similar, and I'm suggesting that it could help you wrap your head around this question. So let's get into solving this problem. So we're going to use a counter as our hash map, and then we will initialize the counter with the 0 prefix sum, which occurred once, because you see we have this list, and then before the list is a imaginary zero, and it has a prefix sum of zero, and it occurs once. So we put that in there. And it's essential that we do that because if we have a question like this, like example two, it would break the code if we do not include this. Okay, so utilize a hash map. Calculate the prefix sum stored in the hash map as we iterate each index. So for n in nums, we need to calculate the prefix, the current prefix, which is, so we'll start it at 0, and we'll also initialize the answer to 0. So we will add n to the current prefix, and then we have to solve for p of x. So p of x is equal to current prefix minus goal. And then we just have to see how many times this is true in our hash map. So our answer is plus equal to c of p of x. So we find out how many times this is true and we'll add it to our answer. And then we need to store the current prefix into the hash map. And I also want to say that the runtime of this solution is O of n because we only have to iterate through nums once, and the space-time complexity is O of n because we have to store every prefix once in our hash map. Okay, so store current prefix into our hash map. C of current prefix plus equal 1. And then we could return answer. Awesome. Thank you for tuning in. See you in the next one. Peace out.